Hello YouTube, how you doing guys? Chris Lutanga. So today I'm going to, it's crazy intro. So today I'm going to be talking about something really interesting. I am going to be talking about how to edit on an iPad Pro. Now this is a 2015 model, so this is the first generation of the iPad Pros, and I want to see if actually this iPad can edit a video or some sort of content in a much more professional way, because I come from editing on my MacBook Pro using softwares like Premiere Pro and Final Cut. So I want to see if I can get the same experience of editing in one of those two softwares on an iPad like this. And I know it's about 7 years old, but hey, let's see if we can do it. Now, the reason that's why I'm pushed to do it is that in a couple of months ago during the lockdown, now my laptop was one of those laptops that were recalled with faulty batteries. And its battery died, and I took it down to the authorized Apple repair shop, and they said they would order a battery for me to come in. So the battery took like over a month and a couple of weeks, and during that time it was one of the worst times not to have your computer, especially if you're creative or if you're into video editing and Photoshop and things like that. And then what happened is that I had the iPad and I thought, okay, is there things that I can do on this iPad? Probably maybe Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, and you know the drill. And I did a few edits in Lightroom, did a few presets that I put in my Instagram, and that was really, really good. But it was a bit difficult when it came to editing a video. So I went through some of the editing apps on the store, went on YouTube, saw some of the apps that people recommended, and then I finally downloaded the LumaFusion. I've been contemplating for a while, I think, to buy the new iPads to probably have it as a second computer on the side, because I know my iPad cannot take a camera, but it can read my hard disks and other stuff. And I know that with the new iPads you can actually connect your camera on there. They are much more powerful, especially the ones with the M1 chips in them. So I think that will be a very, very good Christmas present for me, if anyone is thinking of Christmas presents. But hey, so let's jump in and let's see what we can produce with this iPad. I come to my iPad and I will click here on LumaFusion, and I'll have LumaFusion opened. And when LumaFusion opens, it's not very intimidating. The UI for LumaFusion is quite simple. When you look at your left side, you have the add link to folder, and this is where you're going to be managing your video clips and your folders and any other media that you're going to be using for editing. And then in the middle, right into the end, this is where you have your viewport, where you'll be seeing your edit happening. And then down here, there is a word, press to create fast project. Now, this is where your projects are going to be. And just below there is on your left side, bottom left side, there is this button here, which looks like it's the add project button. And when you click on that, it says there is no project, and there is another add button here, there is a download button here, and then there is a delete button here. So I'll click on this one and it says my project. So we will go ahead here and name the project, and I'll say LumaFusion 1. Good. And then just below here, there is frame rate, and in the frame rate tab you can pick from 18 frames per second on up to 240 frames per second. but I know that the clips I'm going to use were shot in 25 frames per second, I beg your pardon. And the aspect ratio here, you have 16:9, the landscape, you have the portrait reversed, and then you have the 4:3, you have 3:4, you have all these over 20 aspect ratios to choose from. But I'll choose from the 16:9 because that's how I shot my videos. And I'll click add here. And when you click add, your timeline then appears, and in your timeline on your right side, just above your timeline here, there is LumaFusion 1, which is the name of your project, and then the frame rate, which is 25 frames per second, SDR, and then duration 0. When you come back to your left side here, you see that we have two more tabs added. So we have this tab here that then controls your timeline. Now it controls if you want to lock your timeline such that you don't make unnecessary edits. Toggle your timeline on and off depending on how many layers you have on your timeline, how many clips you have. So on each layers of the clips you can toggle them on and off, and then you can only view the ones that you want. And then you have the audio, which controls the entire section, so you can click this one on and off. And then just below the timeline here, this is where the audio happens. All right, so then you can expand it here where there is the audio bars, expanding it to how loud your audio is. So you can go ahead and decrease the audio here or increase it here or down, yes, same. And then once you click double tap on it like that, the audio will go back to 0. Okay, let's go ahead and import some footage into our project and let's see how that works. So I'll go back again. I'll click add link to folder, and then I'll come to my iPad folder here, and then I know that I have my footage that I want called Chiraco Treetops, and then it will link me to the folder, and then I'll open the folder, and in the folder I'll see all the footage that I want. Clicking on my project here, when you click on it, you can view it here in your viewport, and then you can use the handles on the side. So when you click on it, you'll get your handles here highlighted into yellow, and then you can scrub through on the timeline here in the viewport to see where you want to cut from, or which section of the video you want to import. I'll go ahead and import my first section of the video. I'll import from here and probably up to about here. So on your bottom right, just below your viewport, there is a download button here, or a button that says you can drop your section onto the timeline, and so it has insert to main or overwrite. So you can choose to overwrite a video that has already been there, or you can choose to insert it to the main section. So I'll go ahead and say insert to main, and then this edit button here, when you click on it, it will take you to the main frame. Now all the other things will disappear and your video will become huge. And down here it's very interesting. You have more controls. Like it's sort of like a web. The farther you go inside the web, the more intricate it becomes. So once you click on something, it takes you down into something else, which can be confusing, but makes the UI not so intimidating because everything is hidden away and you can only go to it when you need it. In here we have the speed or the reverse. So on the speed here, you can control how slow you want it. Is where you see how fast your video is. So you can speed it up by 3 up to 6. So times 6 is how fast you can speed your video up. It's amazing how this software works and utilizes the power of your iPad. And again, this iPad is a 2015 model, so it's not the new M1s. And I can't just imagine what it feels like on an M1 Mac or M1 iPad. All right, so let's have a look at the stabilizer. Of the top here, presets that have been done to stabilize the video. So you have like the light stabilizer, which will track the dominant version, stabilizer active. All right, so let's have a look at the light version. Oh, it feels much better, like really good. Let me go here on the medium. Let's see what the medium does. I think this needs its own YouTube video, just focusing on the stabilizer. And then in the audio, this is where you can go in the audio and actually manage your entire audio. So on the color effects, you can go ahead, anti-green, cool it, warm up contrast, and high contrast. So but I'll go back to the original. In the original, you can go ahead, let me play with some of these knobs and see how it is. On the brightness, I think I'll turn it down a bit again, probably something like that. Pump up the contrast a bit, just a tiny bit there. Probably bring the brightness back up a bit. Pushing some contrast so I don't lose the details in the clouds. The saturation, I'll probably throw in a tiny bit there in the saturation. Probably vibrance, tiny bit there. Alright, so now that this one is done, I'll just go back here, and then when you look at it in our timeline now, and I scrub through, you can see it still runs really smooth, and then you can probably see the bird that is flying through the video there. Alright, some chicken. I'm going to go ahead and drop in a few clips just to see if I can make a small edit here. I think I like how the camera moves on that one. Alright, I'll go ahead and that one there. And what I'll do, I'm going to try and bring in my, just using my two fingers like that, I will then make my timeline clips a bit smaller so I can see them really well. Alright, so now that I have got all my clips down here, I'm going to see how I'm going to move these clips around now that I have a basic understanding on how to bring my clips in and how to do that. I'm going to see if I can make a small trailer that I can keep up and maybe 20 seconds, because I don't have enough clips to make it a minute. So let me see if we can edit something together here to make a clip of about 20 seconds. I just finished editing the video, and to me it looks good. I think LumaFusion has done an incredible job, or the iPad has also done an incredible job handling the software, because it's not as simple as I thought it looked like. It's a bit much more powerful than I anticipated, but the iPad has been able to handle it really well without having any frame drops or any shutdowns or anything. So I think, to me, editing an entire 45-second clip is really a game changer, especially for content creators. When you need to edit something on the go really quickly, I think LumaFusion and the iPad is the way to go. This is a 2015 iPad, so this is the first generation of the iPad Pros, and it handling LumaFusion 3.0 with all the powerful engines, especially the stabilizer. It's quite interesting, very interesting. So this is the video. I'm just going to export it quite quickly, and then I'll drop it in the video and you guys can have a look at it. Let's do that. Hi, if you watched this video till the end, thank you so much for watching. I haven't had fun in a long time doing something like this, so it was really good trying out LumaFusion on an iPad. It was an incredible blast. So I'm looking forward to trying out new applications that can do something similar on an app, and I'll keep you posted. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That would be really good, and also give you a thumbs up if you liked it. If you think that anyone could use this information, go ahead and share this video with someone. That would be really good. Other than that, my name is Chris Lutanga, and I'll see you next time.